to the next application, Consortium of Ethiopian Human Rights Organizations. Commissioner Manuega will present this application.
I again have the distinct honor of presenting this application coming from the Consortium of Ethiopian Human Rights Organizations. We have the details of their addresses, that is their telephone, email, as well as website. The date of registration of this NGO is 20th September 2019, and the place of registration is the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Date of application is 25th May 2023. The Consortium of Ethiopian Human Rights Organizations, CEHRO, is a coalition of civil society organizations focusing on human rights issues. CEHRO coordinates members' CSOs' efforts advocating for human rights, democracy, and peace through evidence-based policy advocacy. Their work involves enhancing the capacity of existing and new human rights organizations with a particular focus on disadvantaged groups, especially children. CEHRO actively protects children's rights by providing capacity building training for various institutions and prioritizes children's rights in its projects, aiming to raise awareness and promote advocacy for the well-being of vulnerable children in society. The vision statement: to see everyone in Ethiopia's independent audited financial statement as at 31st December 2022, 2022 annual report, and lastly but not the least, number 8, strategic plan for 2021 to 2025. Analysis by the Secretariat is that this application is from an organization whose objectives and activities are in consonance with the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. 2, the application contains all the relevant documents as required under the Commission's resolution on the criteria for granting and enjoying observer status to NGOs working in the field of human rights and people's rights. 3, the NGO is registered and has an office in a state party to the African Charter. Recommendation: in view of the above, it is recommended that observer status be granted to the Consortium of Ethiopian Human Rights Organizations. Madam Chair, Vice Chair Lady, that's the application.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner Mandenga, for communicating the analysis of this application and the final decision taken to grant observer status to the Consortium of Ethiopian Human Rights Organizations. Thank you very much. We move on to the 5th application, which is the African Center for Justice and Peace Studies from Uganda. Commissioner Mandela, you have the floor again.
Thank you very much. Once again, I have the distinct honor of presenting this application for observer status by the African Center for Justice and Peace. This NGO gives us its place where it operates from, its email address, and the website. Its date of registration is the 29th April 2019. Place of registration, the Republic of Uganda. Date of application is the 5th May 2023. The African Center for Justice and Peace Studies, which I'll be referring to as ACJPS, is a non-profit, non-governmental organization established to fill a crucial gap in the human rights movement in Sudan and to rejuvenate the country's commitment to human rights principles. Its objectives encompass documenting human rights violations and protecting those at risk, holding perpetrators of serious human rights violations and international crimes accountable, ensuring effective access to justice and securing reparations for victims of gross human rights violations and serious violations of international humanitarian law, and to strengthen respect for human rights within the Sudanese governance, society, and culture. The vision statement of this NGO: a Sudan where all people can live and prosper free from fear and want, in a state committed to justice, equality, and peace. The mission: to create a Sudan committed to all human rights, the rule of law, and where all persons and groups are granted their rights to non-discrimination, equality, and justice. The documents provided are the following. Number one, a letter of application dated 5th May 2023. 2, a list of board members. 3, certificate of registration dated 29th April 2019. 4, signed statutes and memorandum of cooperation dated 21st April 2009. 5, sources of funding. 6, independent audited financial statement as at 31st December 2021. 7, the annual report for 2022. And lastly, but not the least, number 8, strategic plan 2023 to 2028. The analysis by our secretariat is that this application is from an organization whose objectives and activities are in consonance with the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Number 2, the application contains all the relevant documents as required under the Commission's resolution on the criteria for granting and enjoying observer status to NGOs working in the field of human and people's rights. 3, the NGO is registered and has an office in a state party to the African Charter. Recommendation that in view of the above, it is recommended that observer status be granted to the African Center for Justice and Peace. The Vice Chair, that's the application.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner Mandega, for deliberating on the application and for communicating the decision of the Commission to grant observer status to the NGO. Thank you very much.
We have been given the postal address as well as their contacts, phone, email, and the website. Date of registration is 1st March 2018. Place of registration is Republic of Uganda. Date of application is 4th February 2019. The National Coalition for Human Rights Defenders